Jesus was always washing feet. He was always washing feet. He washed the feet of a prostitute by looking her right in the eyes and reminding her of her deepest dignity. He washed the feet of an embarrassed couple running out of wine at their reception by replenishing the stock. He washed the feet of the wealthy by inviting them to a freedom that they did not know existed. He washed the feet of the oppressed and the poor by reminding them of what no one could take from them. Yes, Jesus was always washing feet. He even washed the feet of the dreaded lepers who people feared and kept away. And he washed their feet by physically touching them and including them, that they might know that this disease did not define them. He washed the feet of the whole world by inviting us to a way of loving and forgiving and living that no one had even thought possible before. He's washed your feet. He's washed mine. Jesus was always washing feet. And on the night before he died, when Jesus gathered with his disciples, he took water and did the servant's job and washed their feet. And he did that to remind them that was their job, to be washers of feet. He did that to remind us that that is our job, to be washers of feet. When Pope Francis first became Pope, he washed the feet on Holy Thursday, but not in the great basilica in Rome as everyone expected. Instead, in a prison in Rome for teenagers, young women and men in trouble with the law. A year or two later, he, in another striking and intentional gesture for Holy Thursday, he washed the feet of gay men who were dying of AIDS. Our shepherd Francis understood what Jesus meant when he asked us to be washers of feet as well. For you and I are called to be those who wash feet. We wash the feet of those that the world doesn't notice, or the ones that the world sees but avoids, because we think we're different. We are to see them and see that they're us. We're to love them. We're to be humbled by their dignity and their goodness. We are to serve them and to serve with them. We are to welcome them and join them in welcoming others after the example and at the command of Christ. You and I are to be washers of feet. Tonight, when we wash feet, we will just call forward a few members of our community one at a time. Part of the gift for us tonight is to see one another. You know, behind every face is a story, and the people whose feet we wash, they are us. The first person we call forward is Elizabeth Arway. Elizabeth and her husband have long wanted to have children but been unable to do so. They are certainly not alone in that. We wash Elizabeth's feet to remember that these two things are true of her at the same time, and her husband, and all those who've longed to have kids. To her and her husband are entrusted all the kids of this world to love. And at the same time, it is a grieving, it is a letting go. And when we wash Elizabeth's feet, we hope that all who've longed for that might remember their dignity, their call to love this world, even as we never deny the pain that is in the heart. The second person whose feet we wash is Greg Pearson. You might see Greg around on campus helping keep our facilities going. If you've ever worked side by side with Greg for anything, he has certainly made you laugh, is how Greg is. Greg loves Jesus. He's a Christian, not of this Catholic tradition, and I sometimes think how it must make Jesus sad that we think we are different, that we're divided. The fact is that we are in this together. Whatever our faith traditions, in the end, we're much more alike than different. And we're honored to wash Greg's feet tonight in solidarity with our sisters and brothers of every faith tradition here and all over the world. We now call forward Berkeley Wolk. Berkeley is in second grade. And our second graders know that this is the night that we remember how Jesus gave us this first Eucharist, the gift this night. And when we wash Berkeley's feet, we also love somehow all the children of the world. Not all kids are blessed to be safe. Not all kids are blessed to have food. Berkeley has a tender heart for them. And we remind her and all of our second graders that this is their job, to love the world with the love that they have themselves received. I call forward Fanny Jacobs. I first met Fanny less than 2 years ago in the back of church. This very pregnant young woman whose mom says she needs to get her baby baptized. And I'm thinking, oh, great, this is grandma's idea. Oh, I was so wrong. I would find out later that Fanny had led the baptism class at her former parish. I also found out that Fanny came here with a broken heart, having just buried her nephew. And in the short time I've known her, she's also buried her dad. And not long ago, her cousin was murdered. And part of what we honor in Fanny is that with a broken heart, she jumped in to serve. And I think all of those who do that, who've had letting go, for whom life is sometimes tough, and who do what is needed. And when we honor Fanny, we honor all of those. And all of you who are called to love, even sometimes through your tears. And finally, we will honor and wash the feet of Gianna Wacker. Gianna has Sanfilippo disease. It's a tough disease, and Mom is going to help. Mom is going to wash Gianna's feet, and we're going to wash Emmy's feet. Emmy, there's Gianna. She's 14, I think. It is a tough disease that affects the brain and shortens life. And even as Mom washes Gia's feet, we wash her little sister's feet. Emmy has the gift for comforting her big sister, gives her medicine, helps her go to bed. She takes care of her big sister. And in this we honor Mom and siblings and all who care for those who have need. And Gianna, this whole church loves you and will love you forever. We'll leave this chair here empty throughout the rest of Mass. It is on some level a reminder for us of how we have had our feet washed through so many, Jesus acting through so many. We leave this chair here empty in part to remind us that after the very example of Christ himself, you and I are to be washers of feet.